What's up, Brokers Playbook Nation? This is Simeon Papa Elias, and this is a quick synopsis of what to expect from Mr. Raymond Hau of the House team, just operating out of North Toronto. I had him on the show and he shared his entire story. He's been in business for exactly as long as I have, going on 17 years. This guy is a true gem. He's a hard worker, and he shares all the insight of what it takes to build a team, when to expand into a team, and of course, what to do when you get there. See you all on the show. All right, Brokers Playbook Nation, I am here with Mr. Raymond Hau this incredible spring morning. We are sitting at the Mississauga studio here in Ontario, Canada. And once again, we have a beautiful story to tell and share. We've lined up and had a discussion prior to this day to kind of line up those nuggets that made Raymond Hau the brand that he is today. And he is a team leader of 16 hardworking people that they believe make a difference in the world. And I believe he are making a difference in the world. Welcome to Brokers Playbook, my man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure. And I want to get right to it because I do believe in the next 30 to 45 minutes, we have a lot of ground to cover. We're going to be talking teams. And this is a big topic, and it's a big part of both my journey and yours. We kind of started at that same time around the financial collapse in the 2000s. So 2007, 2008. I started in 07. You started in 08.
Fun times.
And it was a different world back then.
Oh, yeah.
A very different world. Tell me a little bit about your journey, how you started, and what made you get to the point that you are today.
Yeah, no, I always had an entrepreneurial mindset, and as well, I came from an entrepreneurial family. Everyone's a business owner. My parents, I have the 5 siblings.
What is your background, by the way?
Chinese. I was born in Canada.
Got it.
So hardworking immigrants, parents.
Your parents are first generation. They immigrated.
Correct.
Okay.
So they had a Chinese restaurant. My dad had a Chinese restaurant. So he worked in 24/7, no holidays. Actually, holidays was the busiest time for us.
What kind of restaurant do you think my father had? A Greek one?
Possibly, yeah, probably, right? And probably family-run business. So all of the sisters and my brother and me had to work there, washing dishes, everything. So I kind of learned my grit and hard work from there. Nothing was handed to me, and unfortunately, my dad passed away, and that's when I had to go and make money somehow, and had to pay for my own tuition. So I got my license when I was in university, and I didn't look back. The first few years.
What did you study?
Studied economics and marketing.
Good for you.
Yeah, so it was tough, right? Young kid as a real estate agent, and I, joined a big house real estate company, thinking that a big company will help me get me kickstarted and become a producer, a top producer. That's what I want to be. So I joined, and I realized right away that there was no support, no real proper training, and you're just like another newbie agent. It was a big real estate office, more than thousands of agents, and they really only focused more of top producers. And overall, the environment wasn't that great either. Very like dog-eat-dog kind of competition.
Which is toxic.
Yeah.
And that is back in 07, I would say up to even 2012. That was the prevalent culture. It was everybody keeps their secrets close to their chest.
Correct.
And the trust. And maybe it was our age, maybe because we were new, maybe it was better to others. But because we kind of started at the same time, I felt that too.
Okay.
And it was gross.
Yeah.
So my life's mission has been to make the new agent.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking to change the industry in every conversation that I have by collaboration.
I love it.
By working together. And back then it felt like the polar opposite.
Yeah.
What did you do when you realized that's what the brokerage was like?
Well, I had to make money first, right? So I had to learn a lot of things myself. and made a lot of mistakes, ate a lot of shit, right? I guess that's the way to word it. It's just like there's a lot of my journey, a lot of roads that I made a lot of mistakes on, and I had to figure out stuff myself. So after 3 or 4 years, finally I joined another brokerage, and it was a better environment, but still the training and there was no collaboration, no such thing as teams back then. And luckily, made more money and did more deals. And then eventually I actually joined a team. And I joined a team. And what's great about
just before you go joining
Sure.
the team, how did you get the business? How did you earn the business that you were doing? So you did some deals, you made some money. Where did those deals come from? How did you market yourself?
Yes. So even then, I didn't really know how to market myself yet. It was just hustle mindset, every day just outworking everybody, right? Being at that office before anybody and leaving the office the latest, and also door knocking, really, really putting the word out that I'm a real estate agent.
Good.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I treat sales as a numbers game, right? If you don't have, if you're only doing like 10 calls and you don't get one appointment, then the next day you do 20 calls, right? Eventually, you do 100 calls per day, you got to realize what's a ratio, right? What's a conversion rate? Every 100 calls, that you got to get 2-3 appointments. 2-3 appointments got to convert to one client. Right? So that's what it is. For those months that I don't have enough, I'm not meeting my quota or like my personal goals, then I just got to work harder. Right? At that time, there's no such thing as like social media didn't blow up yet, and it's the traditional marketing, right?
Yeah.
Flyers.
Well, Facebook had just come out.
Exactly.
There was nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was still all phone calls and in actual belly to belly. You have to get out there 100%.
Dog eat dog, really.
Yes. Okay. Take me. You join a team.
I joined a team, and what's great about the team was you learn a lot. So that's why any new agent out there, I really recommend joining a team, right? Because all the mistakes that I did the first few years, I didn't have any support teams or partnership. So I had to figure stuff myself. So at the 5th year, when I joined the team, I learned a lot from the team leader. Like, he was very good in sales, very good at doing deals. But what's more important was I learned a lot that he didn't do well, right? And it wasn't a really good environment still, right? The culture, there was no culture, right? It was more just about sales, Wolf of Wall Street style, right? So
Get on the phone, dial for dollars.
Correct. So that's when I learned a lot, that when I started my team, that I pretty much culture was my number one focus. Yeah.
Culture is another word that I find has been abused, used and abused in this business, that everybody feels they have a culture.
Yeah.
What do you think, or what do you value in culture? So when you say you have a team, you have a very successful team, Raymond, and you have 11 agents, 4 full-time staff.
Mm-hmm.
How do they interact? What is the culture that you currently enjoy?
First, I think when you have a new team member that wants to join, I think that process has to be, and I can't just recruit anybody. You got to make sure that that person that wants to join has the same mindset, and we're on the similar goals and similar path, right? That's one, like recruiting, and also having, I don't call it recruit, it's more like attracting, right? So that's one. And then when they're in our systems, in our agency, second, like putting people first. That's one of our number one core value, is to be absolutely humble, and humility is very important, because at the end of the day, this business is a lot of ego in this, right? There's a lot of ego. And I find that as a team leader, you serve your team members, you serve your clients. It's not the other way around. So that's the culture that I want to, and we're creating at House, is that everyone is uplifting each other, everyone's high-fiving and supporting each other, but more importantly, sharing our challenges and trying to help each other out, right? So we in our meetings, we share wins and challenges, and that's the environment that we want to create. Like, our community is very strong in that sense, is that everyone is putting, everyone's very humble, right? So that's one thing. One of our motto in our team is hustle hard and stay humble.
That's incredible. What markets do you serve right now?
York Region 905. I would say mostly of our transactions is Markham, Richmond Hill, Vaughan. So majority is 905. And as well, we do a lot of pre-constructions with developers all around GTA.
Amazing.
Yeah.
In the culture that you've built, one of collaboration and obviously humanity, I think that's the biggest word, is to respect that other people may have goals just like you do. and the more we respect each other. And if you do practice servant leadership, which sounds like you do, if you truly understand what servant leadership is,
Yeah.
it creates exactly the culture that you describe. And it's not necessarily the only recipe to success.
Mm-hmm.
There is many different styles of leadership. You don't have to be a servant leader.
Correct.
You can take any approach you want out there. What I want people to take away from this is that, number one, if you're not prepared to eat shit sandwiches,
that's it.
Because you talked about this earlier,
yeah,
that you ate a lot, and you talked like 3-4 years like it's a day. Looking back on a 15 or 17-year career, 3 or 4 years does seem like you batted your eyes.
Yeah.
But when I see new agents come into the business now and they expect to be a $250,000 producer overnight,
yeah.
I mean, surprise, you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
What I want to get at is this, because you've said a couple of things that need to be unpacked. This business is a numbers game,
Mm-hmm.
but this business, on the exact same flip side, is a relationship game.
Absolutely.
It is a numbers game and a transactional business if you choose to keep it that way. People like you, I know as a fact, people like me, will run the numbers game to attract and put the clients in the database. But the minute they're in that database, it's no longer a numbers game.
Absolutely.
Now it's a relationship game.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody who, because I've been told this many times, oh, it's easy for you to say you have a database.
Mm-hmm.
Don't tell me what's easy for me. I know what it cost me.
Mm-hmm.
I know the times, I know when I was home and I know when I was not home. My wife also knows when I was home and when I was not home. And I was not home a lot while building that database.
Oh, yeah.
And I can speak to my business partner, who still to this day slays 12, 14, and 16-hour days every day.
Yeah.
So the cost of building a meaningful business, the reason we started teams is because of work ethic and doing what other people are not willing to do. And I think that cannot be overstated. I don't think we say it enough. And I want new people in this business to have that key takeaway, that no matter what, it takes time to build something meaningful. Going from culture to results. If a team member is not performing or they're having a hard time adapting, what is your approach to improving their performance and or motivating somebody who is not doing what you would expect them to be or do?
Yeah, it goes back to training and it goes back to accountability, right? That's why I said that we have a pretty rigorous process on interviewing team members that wants to join. I don't want to use interview as more of a discovery meeting, but it's not just like you want to join and right away you join House. So we want to make sure we're aligned. And then the moment you join House, we discuss what's your goals. I don't have like a cookie cutter template of the whole uploading process of the team member to our team. Everyone has different goals and different business ambitions. So I always ask, what's the goals? What do you see yourself in 1 year, 3 years, and how many deals you want to do this year, right? And what kind of brand you want to build. So based on what they say, I will reverse engineer and help them create a curated plan from monthly to weekly to daily. So we do have an accountability meeting with my team members every single month. Sometimes team members request a weekly or bi-weekly. I'm totally fine, that's what, as I think a team leader or a coach.
And as far as accountability, what KPIs are you tracking? Number of calls made, number of deals done? Tell me a little bit about your process.
Exactly. A number of calls, a number of deals, how many appointments that you made. And we will look at the CRMs, right? And how many, we track everything, right? And if you're not doing enough calls, that kind of explains why you're not doing as much deals that you want to be, right? And maybe you are doing enough calls, maybe it just comes down to your sales skills, sharpening up your sword. So that's why we go back to training and go back to role playing.
What kind of training, is it your own proprietary training where you spend time with them? Are you using a trainer? Are
we
you
do
being
we do
coached?
both. We do both. We have a system coach that will train us and update us on the market knowledge and all that, and as well we have our own personal training. So we do both.
And what CRM is your team using?
Chime.
And are you happy with it?
I'm happy with it. It's very user friendly, very basic because we've done the Salesforce and all that already, and I find it that at the end of the day, agents just cares about what new leads are in, note taking, and contacts. If we put too much in front of them, they're gonna get too confused that they're not gonna even bother using it. That's what I found.
I do agree. We have a highly complex CRM, fairly easy to use for the regular features, but it does have a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
But I will say and agree with you that the majority of agents underuse it by 80% using
Correct.
its actual basic functions of contact calling and note taking.
That's it.
The ones that do choose to explore the rest are for sure higher producing.
Yeah.
Because they're better with technology and do more. And I do encourage teams to invest more in technology and streamlining. Our team at this point, being 61 agents, it's very large, and it wouldn't be actually possible to manage that many people without a proper streamlined CRM.
100%.
So that's hugely important. Tell me a little bit about your take on marketing in spring of 2023. We've come off, obviously, a global record for banking, interest rates, inflation. And I'm talking globally. I'm not talking just North America or Canada. The whole world is feeling the results of the pandemic. It seems in February we saw the last interest rate hike. We've gone through 2 reporting periods with no change. And now in a week's time, or 2 weeks' time, actually, we're expecting a decision. And more than likely, there is going to be an increase based on kind of the numbers and where things are heading. How are you preparing both your client audience? How are you preparing your agents with marketing techniques and conversation?
Okay, so marketing, that's why brand building is so important. So with our team and our agency, what we believe in is house is there for you to leverage, right? It's not the end all be all. It's not like you work under house. We want your brand to leverage our brand. And that collaboration, we find it that it will, provide more value to your clients. So,
and of course, to them, they don't feel in the shadow of anyone.
Exactly, because it's not called the Raymond Hau team.
That's
right. I don't want that. Right. I learned a lot from my mistakes from the first 5 years and what I saw from other teams. So for us, house is for you to leverage. So all of my team members, I definitely encourage for them to build their own brand and leverage house. So that's why we do have a lot of marketing training and brand building that they can leverage. And really key thing is building yourself a premium brand, leveraging social media, YouTube, because that's the way.
Are they creating content?
They're creating content. You have to be. In this day and age, it's not like you have to do video content and YouTube. If you're not doing it, you're actually behind. That's why I find it. Technology is moving so fast. You probably hear about it, ChatGPT, AI, all that stuff. So you better, I don't care how old or how long you've been in the business, you better be doing content, which is what we're doing in podcasting, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So leverage that, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be like any other agent, right? There's 80,000 agents. So how do you set yourself apart from other agents? It's just being you. And there's no better platform for you to leverage is social media. It's free, for God's sakes, right? So you have no excuses. Back then when I started, it's just you have to do the postcards, you have to pay money, and then postcards, flyers. It's just like throwing a dart in a whatever it's called. So that's why social media, there's no excuses. There's that kind of exposure for you to really talk about your brand, talk about yourself, and the value that you provide to your clients. Just be yourself. Right? 'Cause I get it. Like my first 10 videos was very cringy, right? But I found that by being yourself, you actually attract the high quality clients.
You attract the right clients.
Correct.
So if somebody sees who you are and they like who you are, there's a reason for it.
Yes.
So more than likely, if somebody likes you, more than likely, you're going to like them.
Yes.
So content has really changed the game in client attraction and client distraction. Because the last thing you want to do is work with somebody you can't stand the or fathom working with because of the way they think or act, for that matter. So I do feel that's a game changer. Taking the conversation back to today's difficult topic of interest rate. Is this the right time to buy? Is this the right time to sell? What are your agents doing right now with their clients? What is your advice? What is your advice to a client right now? How do you feel about this market right now?
So where we do most of our business right now in Markham, Richmond Hill, we have a low supply market. Like we recently just sold a listing yesterday. Like we on average since January been selling about 3 listings per week because of the low supply in our markets. So actually our agents have been very busy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because just from my open houses, from my listings, because I give the open house to my team members, they're attracting a lot of leads. They're attracting a lot of buyers, potential other sellers. We get on average 100 registrants per weekend, per listing. So
it's incredible.
Yeah. So this is the time to really maximize the opportunity. Yes, a lot of things can happen. New regulations, interest rate change, right? The macroeconomics, yes. But right now we're very, very busy. So maximize the opportunity now, because we all know in real estate, we've been in this for 15 years. It can change just like that. So
you believe in that 10x mindset, maximizing. Tell me about that philosophy and how that translates into results.
Yeah, one of our core values on our team is maximum exposure, because marketing is so important and brand building is so important. So whenever you have a listing, okay, you should go all out. That's the name of the game. Like, go all out. If you got a listing, we all know that it attracts more business. So why would you not be promoting that on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, flyers, door knocking, invites to your open house, meeting people face to face to attract more clients, right? So by doing that and doing maximum exposure every time you get a listing, you gotta get your business got to build. Your business got to 10x each time, because your database is going to be increasing more and more. So by the maximum exposure mindset, not just for your listing, but for your own brand and your own business, like really go all out. So like for us in Markham and Richmond Hill, you see my signs, our faces everywhere, right? Whenever we get one listing, we put a lot of signs out, right? Not to the point that, it's like the city is getting pissed off, but, we're putting
almost.
Yeah. So that and combination of digital marketing, that's where, like in marketing, I don't know if you heard this, Simeon, like there's something called the 27 touches. It takes someone 27 touches. Doesn't matter if it's from pass by your for sale sign, seeing you on social media, YouTube, and your flyer. 27 touches until they, registers in their mind to call you to do something about it. So you really got to go all out. And you're in an industry where there's 80,000 agents. So do not be like them. Have your own brand and model.
Well, just to that, only because I saw a stat last year, and I've talked about this. I talk about it almost every single day because it's so shocking to me. 80,000 agent count, and over 50,000 didn't do a single
deal.
Yeah, not one.
Correct.
So for me, that speaks volume of how many people understand that you need to get to 27 touches before you can expect someone to do a deal with you. So if half the industry, so this is good news, by the way.
Yeah, it is.
The good news is that 50% of registrants are grossly incompetent at their job. It's terrible for the consumer.
Yeah.
Because that means that they have a 1 in 2 chance of running into a dud.
Yep.
It's bad for our industry, but it's good for the competent. It's good for the professional who cares, because if you know human behavior, like they need 27 touches, or in order for you to actually make a difference in someone's life, you need to speak to them at least 4 times. You can't expect to do, like, if you do a deal on the first call, it's a freak accident, or they just needed you and they were ready, and maybe they saw you 100 times on socials and they trusted you. But to expect to do a deal on the first or second call is grossly entitled and spoiled.
But that's what I mean by maximum exposure, because you never know where the next buyer is going to be. You never know where the next deal is going to be. I think there's a saying, I don't know where I heard it from, but you can do a lot of work in real estate and make no money, or you can do very little work and make lots of money in real estate. You never know.
No, you don't know.
Yeah.
Every deal is different.
Every deal is different.
But this is why that, going back to brand, if you have a brand and you consistently create content,
yeah,
that is all working for you 24/7.
correct.
24/7.
Yeah.
When somebody's up at 2 a.m, you might be in your sleep, but if they're browsing the internet and they run into your video and your message just made sense to them, they heard the right message at the right time, you're waking up to a DM.
That's it.
And I have woken up to hundreds of DMs over time.
Yeah.
And it is because of consistency in content creating and brand building that I reap those rewards.
Yep.
Agent knocks on your door tomorrow. They fit the bill. Everything is good. What is the first thing, or what does the first 30 days on the house team look like from an onboarding and an expectation? What kind of team leadership do you provide?
Well, most importantly is leveraging our brand. And again, really,
And that's assets, that's actual systems,
resources,
what does that look like?
systems that we have that we built. I'm a big systems guy.
Yep.
I think that's a lot of times why a team member wants to join is that they don't have a system and they want to leverage our system, right? And leveraging our marketing. And because I find that we have pretty powerful and unique marketing. Because I have something called a signature house tour in our YouTube. Thousands of followers, we get about on average 15 to 20,000 views per video. So every listing we do
That's extremely strong. That's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. So we do a signature house tour, and the vision of the signature house tour was it feels like in the video when I'm presenting, it feels like you're actually going to a buyer showing. So if you're my buyer, when I bring you to open that door to the potential new home that you might buy, I don't just talk about the house. You talk about the location, the school zone, the shops and amenities, how far it's away from the highway and the subway. So those are things that every buyer wants to know. So we leverage motion graphics with that. And that's why we have our own in-house media team, full-time, salary paid. It's a lot of money, a lot of effort, but we find it's worth it because a lot of buyers who watch the video, they know every single thing about that property. Right? Even agents that I co-op with, they say that your video is amazing and even help them close the deal, but they're buyer.
For sure.
And that's the whole point. That's the whole point of co-op, right? Sometimes the co-op agent do not know how to sell that house. Well, watch my video, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So that's one thing that we encourage our team members to do is to do more house tours and do more content creation. Because at the end of the day, it's your own brand and your own business. So I don't want your brand and business to look like house brand. Because it's your brand, whatever that is. Like just recently, one of my team members...
But take advantage of what you've built.
Leverage that. Like one of my team members love to do golf. So I'm just like, go do golf content. Why not you're in the driving range and then after you hit a few shots, you start talking about real estate, right? Be relatable. You got to attract golf buyers, right?
Correct.
Buyers who like golf. And wouldn't that be fun when you do showings?
Yeah, because you're hanging out with people who have the same hobbies and the same passions as you do.
Exactly. So that's what I preach to my team. And at the end of the day, like house, we have a saying called, this is your house. Because I don't want it to be that you're working under my team. I want you to leverage house to make your brand and business stronger, right? That's why my goal and vision is to build a community where we all really actually collaborate. And we're a house of collaborators, a house of creators, and a house of professionals.
Raymond, I'm going to try to bring some value to the senior agent
Sure.
thinking of creating a team.
Okay.
When did you realize and how did you realize that you wanted to start a team? And what was the major driving force behind it? Like, why did you want to do this? Why did you do this?
I saw the industry was broken. The first 5 years, I think we're a very similar path, Simeon, is like in the beginning, I saw that toxic environment between agents that even though we call each other cooperating agents, but yeah, we cooperate in the deal, but in the outside of things, we do not collaborate and cooperate when it comes to marketing and really helping each other when we need help, how to, put an offer in or anything like that. So I found that the industry needs to be improved in that sense. And as well, when it comes to the face value of what the public sees, what agents are. Typical agents, the way they market themselves is they drive a nice car. You look at YouTube videos, how they market their listings. They come out of a car, BMW with the Gucci belt with the sunglasses on and start flashing the gold Rolexes and start talking about look at my newest listing, blah blah blah. First few minutes they talk about
And cringe.
yes.
Cringe, cringe, cringe.
So
Don't flash your Benz or your Rolex
yeah.
on your client's listings driveway. Don't do it. It's a bad look. Go on.
Like like Simeon, how does that provide value to your listing and to your clients?
It does the opposite.
It does the opposite. It's cringy, and you can't blame the public to think that we are snake oil salesmen. We make way too much money. We have no like proper education to get licensed, but it's not. I really do feel that our profession is very noble because we're helping our clients making the biggest decision of their lives.
Some of us see the business as what it is, and that's servant leadership. That is understanding humility in what the job is. The job is not for you to look a certain way.
Yeah.
It's rather to sell your client's home for the most amount of money.
Correct.
Or represent your buyer's best interest in, again, saving the most money.
Yes.
This is negotiation at its highest level.
Yeah.
And there's no room for insecure nonsense.
There you go, Simon. So that's why I wake up every morning really just how can I improve this industry? Like that's my passion. Right.
Mine too.
I'm very passionate about this industry. And I find that, yes, there's a lot of bad players, but the ones that we have very similar vision and mindset as us, I want to help them. At the same time, we help each other.
Number one piece of advice to the person thinking of starting a team, where do they start?
Where did it start is, I think number one is your mindset first.
Okay.
I think mindset is so important. I think number one is definitely drop your ego. Drop your ego first, because at the end of the day, I feel like if you want to start a team, listen, their team members is not serving you and not helping you, okay? They're there because they're leveraging off your systems. They want to learn from you and they want to follow your path and they want to leverage your marketing. So at the end of the day, you really got to be like that, CEO or startup founder that how can I, improve my team members and my clients' business. So that's why drop your ego and really there's no, like it's an even playing field. Like in our team, there's no, like everyone's even. And at the end of the day, we celebrate each other's wins and we collaborate and we always try to find different ideas on improve each other's business. And I think that's very powerful. At the end of the day, if we do that, everyone wins.
I think you are a noble man and I think you're doing the business for the right reasons. And I love that. What is next for Raymond Hau?
So definitely, I want to build a community. I'm not in a hurry to build a big community because we want to attract like-minded people. So a community where we all really are professionals and we all really do care about our clients, that relationship side of the business, not the transaction. And, at the end of the day, really care about creating content, really fun content, marketing, building a premium brand business. So I feel that if we attract premium agents in our community, that's going to be fantastic. Right?
What is your goal in 5 years?
My goal in 5 years is to really, really improve this industry by having House to be that platform where all top producing agents can leverage. Whatever that may be, doesn't matter if it's from a team aspect, agency, I don't really care about that. What I care about the most is building a strong community, right? And at the end of the day...
And that's a community of agents and clients?
Just to clarify, we have a model in our, we have a core value in our team called build a community. So I build a community of clients already, right? And I'm still continuing to build that. So my team members definitely, are doing the same. But at another level, I'm trying to build a community of top producing agents. But it has to be positive mindset, good energy,
integrity,
like-minded integrity agents. All it takes is one bad apple and it's going to ruin everything. So that's why what I mean, I do have a rigorous discovery process with team members who want to join. I don't ever recruit because I feel like if you have a strong brand, you don't need to go out there and recruit people.
Well, I will tell you right now that Broker's Playbook, the foundation of the entire notion and brand of Broker's Playbook is that community of integrity, of like-minded, of sharing our insight and our successes. And hopefully today, somebody listening understood that, they're in their 8th year of real estate. I was about to start a team, and Raymond Hau of the house team just told me to drop my ego.
Yes.
What does that mean for me?
Yeah.
If you were pulling up in people's driveways in that Benzo, and the first thing you did is check the time, please stop it.
Please stop.
Stop it.
Please stop.
And think, what does dropping my ego look like?
Yeah.
What does providing real value with humility and serve leadership potential look like for me?
Yeah.
And move accordingly. Raymond, I'm going to thank you for joining me on the show.
Thanks for having me, brother.
I wish you the absolute best of luck in changing as many lives as you possibly can. And of course, all the success in your path. You're doing phenomenal things out there. Keep up the great work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Broker's Playbook podcast. For more of our content or for help leveling up your business, check us out at brokersplaybook.com, on YouTube, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.